Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double lines to the elders of GMS rule well. Peace, salutation like Akim in the four corners, percent truth, sincerity. Peace be unto you and Shalom.
Kobe, um, true competitor. I know that he's retired now. He's going to go on to do even greater things. He's a great man, and I love him and I respect him, but he brought everything out of me on the basketball court, and I appreciate him for that. Teron Lou. I remember after that series, he went to Washington and got paid. So somebody was at the free throw line, and I said, look, man, if you don't stop fouling me like that, we're going to be fighting out here. And he was, whatever. And I said, only reason you got that little $5 million a year is for running around after me. And the man looked at me and said what I would have said. Thank you. and we've been like this ever since.
So that's just a short example right there of how a soft answer can turn away wrath. One thing that stood out to me about that video is that I've employed that before and didn't even know what I was doing, and it worked. I remember one time I was new at this job, and there's this particular NB that didn't like me, and I forget what the initial reason why. Something very, very stupid. I don't remember why. Maybe I didn't talk to anybody, maybe I didn't talk to her or whatever. And she was going around talking about me behind my back. I just happened to turn the corner while it was happening. And then I think I addressed her, and that kind of intensified her not liking me. And then it went from, I'm not going to talk about you behind your back, I'm going to talk about you in your face. So now she's talking about me even more and more and more, finding the dumbest, stupidest stuff. And I remember one day I was, or before I go to the particular day, I had actually, at this time, which I wouldn't advise brothers to, but if so, the Spirit be with you. I had announced that I was a Jew, an Israelite, and we just so happened to have an Amalekite boss. And I guess she thought that I wanted to be white, so I'm trying I was uppity and I wanted to be white. Little did she know I hate Amalek. So I'm bougie, I think I'm better than everybody, I want to be white. So this is what she's trying to portray me as. And so one day, I had the assignment of taking clothes from the van back into the building because the washer and dryer inside the building was not working. So I had to bring the clothes. I had to take the clothes out to get clean and bring them back to get clean. And I used gloves both times. And I'm using gloves to bring the clean clothes back. And then she like, oh, so you got to use gloves to pick up clean clothes? And I said this to be intentionally rude. I said this with a rude attitude and a rude tone of voice, but very sarcastic. And I said, yeah, because I'm too good to put my hands on clean clothes. And when I said this, I said it maliciously. I said it very, very loud. I said it very, very arrogantly and obnoxiously as I could possibly say it. I wanted everybody to hear what I said. As soon as I said that, she just started busting out laughing. And ever after that, she basically stopped leaving me alone. And not only did she stop leaving me alone, but she started telling me about plots and things that people were saying about me to try to get me fired or to get me in trouble. So it turned away, her wrath towards me. I'm going to grab this precept from Proverbs chapter 15 and 1. This is Proverbs chapter 15 and 1. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. So you say soft words, or sometimes even a joke. Sometimes I can even get you out of a speeding ticket or a traffic ticket. You say something funny, and all of a sudden that person's wrath appeases. Sometimes when you was a kid, maybe you was about to get a whooping, you say something funny, and all of a sudden, I can't even whoop them no more. Or vice versa, if you have a kid, maybe your kid might say something funny, and it's so damn funny that your wrath kind of, just goes over. So there's a science to this. You don't always want to come with a rough and tough answer. You ever seen a bodyguard? A bodyguard can be rough, tough, Mr. Billy Badass all the time. Sometimes that bodyguard has to actually know how to diffuse situations and be more calmer, have soft words. Hey man, that's a nice jacket. Where you get that from? Hey, can you back up a little bit for me, brother? It ain't always back the fuck back before I beat your MF bleedy blank blank. You could just stir up a fight. Words can hurt, words sting. I've learned that first and foremost about me, myself. I never looked at myself as being, very, very, I guess I've been told that I know how to get under people's skin. When I talk, when I say stuff, or when I trash talk, or when I really get pissed off. I've been told I really know how to get under people's skin. And I never thought that. But what I have realized is that a lot of times, a lot of my fights when I was a kid, they came from things that I would say. Simple words. Just very, very simple words that I would say, and then all of a sudden we just scrapping. And sometimes I would even provoke a fight, sometimes intentionally, by saying some stuff. If your mom was dead or had cancer, and if I didn't like you, she was not off limits. I would talk about, your mom, all that type of stuff. And I didn't care because for the most part I could fight. I lost very, very few fights, and the few I had lost, I didn't really do terrible. So I was always confident. So I realized, man, I need to watch my mouth. I have other examples of trash talking on a basketball court, and it goes too far. And not too far as me talking about somebody's mama, but constantly antagonizing them over and over and over. And it goes too far. And sometimes it's hard for me to detect when I'm going too far because I'm a big person. So nobody's going to step to me and try to fight me over something I said that's not completely out of bounds. So I got to gauge people a lot different. So one thing I had to realize is that, man, I got to, read body language better. I got to understand, when I'm going too far. Sometimes a person's anger is simply not real, true anger. Sometimes it's just this pride where I can't let you think I'm a punk, so I got to stand up and say something. And then all of a sudden you standing up, you don't want to prove you a punk, and then y'all are suddenly fighting, and y'all don't even got a true real issue. Y'all just trying to prove to each other that y'all not punk, and y'all trying to prove to everybody around that's watching that y'all not punks. It just can get completely stupid. There's nothing wrong with having a soft answer. You know, and another thing I can say too about me being the size that I am is that when I do decide to give soft words or to turn down or back away from something, which is where I even find myself in, nobody is looking at me and saying to themselves, "Oh, he's punk, he's a weak, he's scared." It's general consensus understood that I'm trying to take the higher road, or something's just not getting to me. Somebody who might be smaller may have to constantly prove themselves to be tough, but that's something that, when you're my size, you don't got to constantly prove that you're tough, So words really can disarm somebody. And this goes to my next point is, because this is actually one of Esau's tactics. This is Psalms 55 and verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So Esau understands this. Nice words, fair speech. Yeah, he on the team with us. But it's no. I'm doing this to disarm you so I can get you to sign these contracts and covenants, and I'm going to break every single last one of them. So that's a tactic that Esau uses, and he uses that masterfully. But he uses it, and he has intentions of actually committing war, not for a truce. So when the scripture says, never trust thine enemies, I don't care what he says. This devil will come and say the most smoothest, nicest words that you can possibly think of. Come with the biggest smile, the biggest grin, ear to ear. Meanwhile, he's plotting to take your head off or take something from you. Just recently I was watching a story about Hulk Hogan and this wrestler named Haku and Brutus the Barber Beefcake. And basically, Haku beat the living shit out of Bruce the Barber Beefcake, and everybody's pretty much afraid of Haku. So they got Hulk Hogan, who was Brutus the Barber Beefcake's, that was basically like his man's. And they went and got Hulk Hogan, and Hulk Hogan just came and nicely said, "Can you please stop?" And he did. Very, very soft, smooth words. And because he respected Hulk Hogan, he stopped. Sometimes very, very simple, soft words. It ain't always about cussing, how loud you can yell, scream at the top of your lungs. It's not always about that. On that note, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Kakwadash. That belongs to the elders of GMS we well. Peace, salutations, and shalom.